Welcome to the Creative Weekly. We're not starting, we're starting in about 2 minutes. So basically, what this is about is it's a weekly talk every Friday at 1 p.m. And we're talking about basically all the tips and tricks.
Yes, today we're talking about the money talk and the money walk, how to manage, maintain, and grow your income as a creative, freelancer, and entrepreneur. So there's some really cool tips in here, real life stuff. Stay tuned.
Yeah, and we have two angles as you can see. And clear like Victoria skin. Mad. Yo, Victoria, them love you, know. This is please do not disclaimer. This is not financial or legal advice. This is
No.
just our opinion.
Yes.
So take it to your accountant if you need for, and
Yes.
someone who
Or
is
your
verified.
financial advisor
Or
friend.
my financial advisor friend, which I'll mention later,
Yes.
Kenisha Mays, thriving dollars. So yeah, so we're just a minute out. We're gonna start shortly. Hi, Jewel. Hey, Jewel's back. Hey,
Hi,
Jewel.
Jill. Thank you for
Yeah, so we
calling
have we have the
me.
two angles up now, and it's working perfectly because we find a solution because we don't give up. So while we wait for a few more people to come in, let me show you the how do I switch the camera on? Yeah, this is our setup. We're recording, so this
You
is
only
going to.
showing the. Okay, no, you're showing it.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna. There's a light. There's that. We have a camera there. We have a laptop there. We have our mics there, and this is going to be a podcast. And it's gonna be on all the popular streaming services, and it's going to be on YouTube, right?
YouTube.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
don't forget to follow the Creative Weekly on Instagram. It's at the Creative Weekly. No space, no nothing, just at the Creative Weekly. Go follow it, guys.
Yeah, so follow us. So essentially, and follow Victoria. Victoria knows best. Oh, let me add it right here. So essentially, while I do that, essentially what we are talking about each week is tips for freelancers, creative entrepreneurs, creative professionals in the Caribbean and globally. Just from our experience and point of view, this is season one. The book isn't ready. The giveaway.
Yeah.
All right. So Jewel. All right. So last week we were supposed to give away a book, but what
Yes.
happened? We had a lot of stuff dealing with for shoot and fixing out all of that stuff. So and then shipping is taking long.
Yeah.
So we'll let you guys know when we have the book in hand. We'll be giving away that book, and we'll be giving away a book every week or every 2 weeks.
Every week.
Every week, yeah, every
Yeah,
week. So
every
we'll give
week.
away another book this week. So
And
we'll just have two giveaways.
They can be really self-help books or even really nice fiction books that can help you within life that have really good lessons.
Yeah. All right, cool. So stand by, guys. Let me just add the hashtags and then we're gonna get started in 2 minutes. The creative person organ brethren.
The Creative Weekly.
No, there's not an X. Why am I putting that?
Are you thinking about the eggs?
No, no, no. Suppose I'm Jesus Christ. Suppose I'm up on the call. Um,
Woo!
hey, what's up? We're almost ready. Sorry, I'm just adding the tags so you guys know where to go. And then, okay, the creative weekly.
It is time.
The digital Jamaican is Arcadia. That's right.
Hey, Kadia.
Hey, Arcadia, what's up? All right, cool. Plug all and how do I pin this thing? I always forget.
Hold it down.
Hold it down
Yes.
so I don't come up. See, we're coming, guys.
There
I'll
it
pin.
is.
There it is. So that's the page. All right, so we are ready to begin. We have a few people here. So let's begin. So this week's topic is the money walk, the money talk. We'll be talking about we'll be going through about keeping track, setting prices, and presenting prices. Where should I put my prices? Paying yourself, investing in your business, financial goals, both personal and business, and then also plug in someone that I've personally, Adrian, talking about personally an experience I had with a financial advisor, Miss Kenisha Mays from Thriving Dollars. And hopefully by next season, we'll have her on to give you more direct to person advice. So, yeah, as I said, this is a Creative Weekly, and I'm your host, Randy Richards.
I'm Victoria Taylor. I'm a digital content marketer. Randy is an amazing photographer and filmmaker. And together we are two creative, crazy people. And today's wine is brought to you
Yeah,
by
a
CK, McDevin and family.
Mandavi.
Mandavi and family. It's under $2,000, so it's a great wine to have.
Oh, I can't hear Victoria. Hold on.
Oh,
Stand by. Hold on. Let's see. All right,
I think
take
it's
this.
a pod thing.
Yeah, take
Okay.
that and see. Yeah, if not, I'll just take it out.
Can you guys hear me now?
Can you hear Victoria and can you guys hear me? She sounds distant. Can you hear her now?
Can you hear me now?
Testing. Can you hear her now?
Can you guys hear me now?
This sounds like the next tell. What's the ad that? She
Yeah.
sounds just. Oh no, I don't think them
Okay,
here. I take
so
both
take
of them
it
out.
out.
All right, cool. Since we're not having an echo. All right, testing again.
Can you guys hear me now? Woo.
Can you guys hear us now? Testing, testing. A little better.
A little better.
All right, cool. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right, perfect, perfect. Sorry, guys.
So,
Yeah,
again, today's wine is brought to you by CK Mandavi
yeah.
and family. It's a very nice, smooth, fruitful taste, bold blend. It's a mixture of Merlot, Sauvignon, and Malbec. So, if you want a wine that's under $2,000, we would recommend this. It has a really fruity
It's
taste,
very
full
good.
body,
Hmm.
and
Very
we're
good.
also looking for wine sponsors, FYI. So
FYI.
every week we're also going to introduce the wine that we're drinking.
Yeah, every week we have wine because why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wine
All right, so
not.
bless up everybody. So next thing before we go jump into the first topic, this is a very interactive live. So we want you guys to use the question marker, which should be beside your comment box, to ask your question so we can jump in and see them and answer them as we go along. And any questions around the topic about money, pricing, handling, stuff like that. Wagwan Jake, bless up,
Right.
pirate boy.
So, guys,
Yeah.
be sure to use it. This is the whole point. The podcast is done live. We answer your questions in real time. So, go ask your questions in the comments or use
Yeah.
the question marker that's right by your comment section at the bottom, and we'll answer your question along the way. So,
Yeah, and if you can't see the question marker, that means you need to be following, I think, me or Victoria. I think it's
Yeah.
me since I'm hosting it.
Yeah.
And Kadia, she says she wants to win a free bottle. When we get the wine sponsor, we'll sort you out. Yeah, right now we're
Yeah.
giving away books.
We'll give it away
Yeah.
books, knowledge first.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so
Move
let's.
your mic over a little bit more.
Right
To me.
here?
Yeah, yeah, good.
All right, so let's get started.
All right, cool.
What's up?
So first topic,
Keeping track.
Keeping track. All right, cool. So
And I think, Randy, you would be the best person to do this.
Hey,
You're one
Adrian.
of the few people I know who actually keep track of your finances. You have a full-blown business. So how do you keep track, and what are the tips when keeping track? And why is it hard to keep track? I find it sometimes hard to keep track of my finances. What's up?
all right, cool. So for me, keeping track has been something that. All right, so my mother is a business teacher. Was a business teacher, and she basically she's a POB principal of business for anybody who know me from a long time, and that kind of bred into me naturally. She's very organized, very meticulous, so I kind of grew into that. So when I started off in my internship, um, so whenever I had stuff like billing, I need to send my billings and stuff, I'd record them. So I started using this platform called Wave. At the time, actually no, I didn't use Wave. I used it. I think I just did like a random online invoice
Excel
maker,
sheet?
like Excel
Yeah.
sheets or so.
But
So
Wave is a good app.
yeah,
'Cause
Wave
you
is a
can
good
take
app.
a picture of your invoices as well.
Yeah, exactly. So when I started, I would create an invoice for every job because my clients needed it, and then I just when it comes to getting paid, if you don't send people your invoice, it's like your invoice is almost like a contract. So I always make sure that I send an invoice to people. Back then I didn't keep track as much. I save all my receipts because that's something that my mom always do. So I always save my receipts and I always send an invoice, no matter how small the job is. And then over time I started to know, like after I amass a bag of receipts, I started to actually enter them into some kind of organized system.
What happened for
yeah.
you to realize that keeping track actually helped you to manage your finances better? Because it's one thing like, oh, keep track, but like, what was the moment that hit you when you realized that keeping track actually helped you?
Yeah, well, when it comes to planning, cause when you're in a business, are you working as a freelancer, as a professional, even as a young one? When you're starting and you realize, you're doing this bag of work, you're charging these prices, and after a few months or so, you realize like after a year, like, wait, what am I doing? Am I paying for my apartment, or I paying to help my parents at home? I trying to buy equipment, I trying to get things, and I'm like, wait, why am I not getting no? I can't get no further. Why I can't afford? Why am I working so hard and I'm not able to get further ahead or invest back into my business? So I was like, oh, this can't work. I can't broke forever. I do this. So I was like, well, I need to know what I don't know. And I knew that I didn't know a lot. So what I did then was just Google. The first thing that I did was just Google and just find out, all right, how to keep track, what do other people do, financial management, just anything that I could find, I just tried to ask. And if I had friends, I would ask my financial friends about it or what them do. And generally, as I say, I'm a mathematician kind of person. I'm very organized. So it sort of came naturally for me to do that. I think after I finished at Smirnoff and I moved on fully to my own, where I didn't really have as much. I did have a lot of work coming in from them, but I still needed to supplement my income.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like, all right, I really need to keep track because I need to pay my rent every bill. I need to pay my this and that and invest in some life insurance. So all of those things kind of came
How
together.
did you, what do you use to create your invoice? I use Canva
Mm-hmm.
to create my invoices, and they also have invoice templates, so you can easily just start using them. So where do you create your invoices? Do you use Wave? Do you use an Excel sheet? Or do you just send an email, say, yo,
Yeah.
this is how much you're supposed to get for the month? How do you do your invoices?
All right, so for my invoices, before then I used like free invoice maker. They give you a limited amount of invoices per month and you can just save them, and if not you can screenshot it. But after a while I started using this one called Wave Apps, which I'll write it Wave Apps. So Wave Apps, waveapps.com. And that is a free platform and it allows you to do invoicing, send invoices out to your customers, send reminders for all of those. And so it's completely free. So and it's a pretty much a full. I use it right now with my accountant, and that's the platform that I use. And I used to use QuickBooks before. So and with my same accountant, and after I
Yeah.
transition that works. So Wave is what I use now.
But if you feel like having an app is a little bit too complicated for you, because sometimes money is scary, then Excel sheet can work, or you can use Wave app. Wave is like a good interface,
Yeah.
especially if you're not on money, because you come from a money background in a sense.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
for me, like finances, so Wave is actually a good app for both.
Yeah. All right, and then hey DTS, Jig says he uses Wave too. Hi, Mr. Eddie Daughter, bless up.
Nice.
Quirky Rebel says she uses Wave too.
Nice.
Cool. Caesar says save invoice like old man. Yeah,
Very
bless up
much
Stafford
so.
Mocha. Thanks for being here, Virgin. Bless up Adrian. I wish Adrian you should talk out. You should drop in the comments about pricing for professionals, which I haven't
Yes.
fully read yet, but that's a good book to recommend. It's also an expensive book, but it's a good book.
Okay.
Cool.
So
So
the
yeah.
next topic is setting prices and presenting your prices.
So Victoria, tell us how do we go about setting our prices? What should we do as all of us are creatives. We do different things.
Yeah.
Some people do filmmaking, some do photography, some do graphic design, some do seamstressing, whatever it is, designs. How would you suggest in a general way that people should go about, doing their invoices and setting their prices and so on?
You know what I find the most, no matter what you do as a creative, you find that the price that you charge customers is tied so much to your worth and your work. So it's always hard for people. And I've even heard people who've been doing the same thing for years, and they said they still struggle to find out
Yeah.
the price. And I feel like it's just I have a video on a 7 point pricing strategy, but the number one thing I would say is find out what other people are charging, find out the lowest and the highest amount, and see if you can meet in the middle. And sometimes it's almost like you have to kind of like test it out, because maybe you have your first client and you say, all right, pay me this amount, and if them say yes too quick, you charge too low.
Yeah. If them say yes too
Right?
quick, your price was too
Right.
low.
And then you don't want it to be too high, but you still want it to be enough. So I would say, after you've kept your invoices, see what your expenses are, find out how much you need, like how much do you need per client in order for you to survive, right? If you're starting out, how much projects and how much money can I charge per project for me to survive and live off of this? And then you start growing from there. And as you grow and you start, putting your skin in the game, then you'll begin to realize, oh, but this stylist is charging X amount and I do way more. Prices go up. This person is doing less than me, but this person is doing more, but they charge less. All right. So it's a middle ground, because you want to be competitive. And also, how you price is how you brand. You cannot be charging people expensive prices and your personal brand and your brand is cheap.
Yeah.
Let me
That's
just tell
true.
you that.
That's true.
You can't, it has to match up. If you're going to price some luxury prices, you have to have a very nice luxury brand and have to give customer service. And I think when it comes to setting your prices, again, be clear about presenting your prices.
Yeah.
You can either do, sometimes people find it that you charge $400 or you can charge $9.99. But when you have something that's not very rounded, it can turn people off. Like, why do you need $5,878.39? What's going on? But if you have rounded numbers that people feel very safe with, or if you want to do a sale where you're like $4.99 instead of saying $500, sometimes that works with people. You take $2 off. It makes a difference because pricing, look up pricing and money psychology. How people buy is so tied to how they see value. So look that up and just as again, check out what your competition is pricing. Check out what your friends are pricing and meet in the middle ground or decide to, go high or low. It's up to you, but you have to push it out. You have to put it into work to see what works. Because when I first started, I charged low, and as I grew, I started to charge medium. And stand by your pricing. That's it. Stand by your pricing. Whatever you price, bold, strong and proud, wrong and strong.
Wrong and strong if you're wrong.
Wrong and strong if you're wrong. But just stand by your pricing and learn.
Yeah, and to add to Victoria's tip, I feel like so two things. When you're researching prices, I know sometimes, especially in Jamaica,
Yeah.
persons don't really want to share their prices.
Oh,
If
we'll
you
talk
ask
about that
somebody,
soon.
them not really want to share. So let me tell you something, a story. What I had to do back then, I create some fake profile and email and pretend to me I get married. So when I was trying to find out wedding prices, I said, all right, cool. Well, I want to know how much them people are charge them. Now go tell me straight up. So I created, other than Googling and seeing what people overseas and in other markets
Yeah.
were charging, and for those who had public prices on their website, I create some fake profile. I'm email some people. I'm gonna say, all right, may I get married next year, April 2, 2016, and it's gonna be 50 guests, whatever. Fill in all of them information, and and yeah,
Hear them
and
do
then
those
send them
things
because
there.
the people.
But
them,
it
but it
works.
works, and that's
Yeah,
you gotta
Jamaican
finesse.
culture, we don't talk about pricing a lot.
We don't talk about
But we
pricing.
should.
We should, and because being more open and collected together in the industry will help us to kind of not have clients be abusing us for pricing.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
some of
If
you
you're just
charge too
starting, your prices aren't going to be the same as somebody who's 10 years in the game. But at the same time, you don't want to be so far low balling that you're being
Yeah.
abused by the client. We all of us start somewhere, but just don't start at don't start at the rock bottom.
Yeah. So so check out your competition that way. Send out some emails. Do some investigation.
Yeah.
All right. And I think the next point is where should I put my
Before
prices?
before I go to that, I had a second thing. What was the other point? You said about first thing was about the pricing.
Pricing
and
knowing
how
your
it
worth,
worked.
standing
And
by your worth
yeah.
and your price, and test it out. Because if somebody says yes too quick, you probably gave them a low price.
Yeah, probably give them a low price. I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Alright, cool.
When you remember, let me
Somebody.
know.
Oh, somebody's asking here, guys. Sessions K2RE is asking if we recommend apps and how do you factor keeping track of your online security with apps.
Don't
Yeah.
have too many apps. Have one app to keep track of your finances.
Mhm.
Like Wave. I'll see a lot of people in chat saying they use Wave. Use Wave and
Yeah.
keep track. When you have multiple financial apps, you're gonna get frustrated and you're not going to want to do it.
Yeah.
So just pick one and work with it. And we may recommend Wave because it works for us. But maybe when you try Wave, it might not work for you. So you still have to test out and see which ones work for you. Maybe you need something a little bit more simpler. Maybe you need something more complex. You have
Yeah,
to test
whatever
out.
works for you. Yeah, and I mean, as it relates to keeping it secure, there you have passwords. You can use most websites nowadays have two-factor authentication, which requires it to send an email or a message to your phone. So I would recommend turning on two-factor authentication if there's a concern about security, and ensuring that you have a very secure password. There are websites that you can use to generate passwords that are secure, as well as if you're a Mac user, you can use Keychain and it can generate a password that works, and it will show you if it's strong or weak or whatever.
And LastPass.
And LastPass, you can use LastPass too for also saving your passwords and managing them. And I'm sure there are a few other password apps. So if you guys want to drop any, you can.
Yeah.
Let's
You're
see.
the password
Hey,
master.
Fonique, welcome to Jamrock Cruise. Evan Wagwan, that's Victoria's shoes because I'm always switching the camera.
My
Jewel.
shoes are nice too.
All right, Randy finessing. Hiding prices. So Caesar says hiding prices does nothing to help the industry. If there's a minimum amount, everyone was charging would help to standardize the industry.
That's very,
Yeah,
very
that's
true.
very important, and stuff like that, which I think is going to be happening soon. Associations
Yeah.
and coming together as a group will help the industry. The
Because
crabbing
if you say,
Advarian.
yo, the starting price is 40
Yeah,
and don't go any lower than that, even if somebody's new or old comes in the game,
Yeah.
clients just know
yeah,
it's nothing lower than this and that's it. Just like how if you go to KFC and if you want a big deal,
Yeah.
this is the cost.
big deal.
Whichever KFC you go, that's how it is. But it's something that will take time.
Yeah, because at that point, I mean, and yes, there's still going to be differences with prices at the end of the day. But what we try to encourage is that people don't like competing on prices sometimes is a race to the bottom, and
Yeah.
there's a space in the market for that. But personally, that's not the space for
Yeah.
me.
All
So
right.
you have to determine what your space, because some people do sell commodities, and commodities tend to be cheaper. So it depends on your business and what it is
And what
that
you're
you
doing.
want. J.K. Rubin said bun KFC, even though I'm talk
Okay.
KEPC.
Where let's
So yeah,
move on
next
to
topic,
where should
yeah.
I put my prices?
Victoria, where should I put my
You
prices?
should put your
Palm forward? Should I put
prices
palm forward?
on your
No.
you should put your outfit should say your prices. But anyway,
True, true.
you should put your prices on your website. And if you're and don't hide your prices. It's such a pet peeve. It's almost like you're saying you can't be trusted.
Yeah, like those close people on Instagram
Yeah,
who
like those
say
close.
DM me for prices. Why
Yeah.
do I need to DM you
Mm-hmm.
for the other day we were talking about this, saying that it was
Yes.
be easier if don't let people have to
Don't let
go
people
through
have
hoops.
to, yeah, don't let people have to jump through hoops to find your prices, because that's just gonna deter them
Yeah.
to find somebody else. So put your prices on. Have a little Instagram highlight story of your starting prices. You said
Yeah.
last time we spoke that even if you don't want to put your full price, say hey, the starting price is XYZ and it can go up. Put a little disclaimer, GCT
Yeah,
included if it
yeah,
has
geez.
to. Put it on your website. And also, if you don't want to put your prices because maybe you do something custom made, maybe it's depending on how big or small the project is, you
Yeah.
can say, just have a contact place where it says, do you want a quote? Can I give you a quote? Just tell me what you want. If you put that space on your website, you're professional, you help your customer, and you allow the process of them moving from, knowing about you,
Yeah.
knowing about you to paying you. So that's something super important. Like, don't hide your prices. It doesn't make you look suave. It doesn't make you look cool. It makes you look like an asshole who's probably going to overcharge somebody.
There you go, facts. All right, let's see. All right, what's the next topic?
Paying yourself properly, and I think
All
you
right. Okay,
have
cool.
the best in that.
Paying yourself properly. All right,
They
so I
struggle
know,
with that well.
boy, we're just struggling to put it all in the equipment.
Cause you can't pay yourself too much,
Mhm.
and you can't pay yourself too little.
Yeah, them always say pay yourself first. So take out your money. I mean,
But
alright.
you buy equipment, so
Yeah, I buy
paying
equipment.
yourself first
Doesn't really work. Yeah, in all honesty, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I just try my best to work really hard, and the wine is good. Somebody says the wine is good. I wonder why. Yeah, yo, when I started out, I just worked like a horse. I worked as much as I can. I remember the point I was trying to make. I know I had a minimum amount to meet. I know what my bills were every month.
Oh,
So
yes, yes,
yeah,
yes,
so I
having
knew what my bills
expenses.
every month. So I knew how much money I needed to make just to survive. And then back then, what I did then was that I I just tried to make as much as I could, and then the excess surplus went into just actually buying equipment and reinvesting in my business and paying whatever bills are whatever I needed to do. No, the strategy is that you really want to take money out. You say you do a job, $100.
Yeah.
You want to take out money to pay yourself first, because at the end of the day, if you're not okay, there is no business.
There is no business.
There are different methods to go about defining that, but I won't speak on
But
them because I'm not
sometimes
fully
it could
informed.
be as simple as I said, sometimes it
Yeah.
can be as simple as you pay your bills, you buy your equipment, and treat yourself a little.
Yeah.
That could also be a form of payment.
Yeah.
Like maybe
And make
say-
sure you save.
and you
Make sure you save.
Saving is important.
Yeah.
Treat yourself a little. Decide, say, you know what, once a month, I go and buy myself
Mm-hmm.
a bucket of KFC.
Yeah.
Somebody said one KFC, but
Yeah. Bunjik.
or you say I go and buy myself a nice shirt for client meetings, or if something I go on.
Yeah.
Just do that. Or it's like, you know what, let me save and then buy myself something nice in the 3 months.
Yeah.
Because if you don't treat yourself, or that's a form of self-care. Paying yourself or even rewarding yourself is a form of self-care.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't do that, then you're gonna burn out, and then you're gonna be the worst, as you said.
Yeah. And then I think my mom would always say to me is that service your debt. If you have debt, say whether you have credit card debt or you have student loan debt, don't there are different methods that to approach it toward them that I spoke about to someone, a financial advisor recently through Wildlife, is you have one effort where you pay off your smallest debt first, little by little, and then because that psychologically it's easier to take that hill up. Or some people pay the biggest debt, the one with the highest interest rate, off first because you save the most money. So it depends on what the debt that you have, but you definitely want to ensure that if you have debt, don't throw all your money into just your debt alone,
Because you'll get back into
because
debt.
you'll get back into debt.
What about insurance,
so yeah.
pension, NHT, taxes, savings, all of these stuff that come with
Save.
paying yourself.
First thing,
Because that's
save.
paying yourself too.
Yes. First thing, save, save, save. Set a like 10%. Okay, every month I'll save 10% of my income, no matter what. Take it and hide it from yourself. Trust me, it adds up no matter what, and that's something that I've started doing. And it's like I check back a couple months and I'm like, wait, when did I get so much money in this account? Because you almost forget it. Have two accounts, and then also just a side note, don't mix your personal and your
Business
business
money.
expenses. When you're paying yourself, either take the money out of your business account and put it into cash and put it in a different account, but don't spend your personal expenses and your business expenses from the same account.
And
When
try
it
to
comes
use
to
cash.
and try to
Because
use
when you use your card, you just
yeah,
swipe.
you
But when
swipe
you
and it's
take
out of the
out
way.
money onto your wallet and you see how much money you come
Yeah,
out of your wallet.
you can see it.
Yeah.
A good method what I used to use was the enveloping method. I would label envelopes with all the different expenses I have, including savings, everything, and then section out the money into that. And then from there, so I would, I know I have whatever. And then when money is left over, I would put that money towards the next month. Now what I do it all digitally. I don't do it physically anymore. So you have to know what kind of discipline that you have. Because back then I couldn't do it digitally because without done my money. But now I can because I keep track of it online. So once you have a strategy, then that's good. As it relates to pension, NHD, and taxes and insurance, you want to have you
'Cause
want
that's a
to
part of your
yeah, it is a part
savings.
of your savings too. You want to ensure that you have these things, even if it's small. Insurance, for example, life and health
I
insurance.
think you should
You
wait
can
until you're making
yeah
making a good amount of money
yeah
until you're stable because insurance is something you have to commit to.
yeah, you have to commit to it, but it can start small because
Yeah.
insurance. I started my first life insurance at $2,000,
I
and it
started
was
mine
at
at five thousand
and it was
dollars.
three. That was 7 years ago or 10 years ago
Okay.
maybe. And then it was $2,000 I was paying per month, and it was a $3 million coverage
Dude,
just to
when we
start.
say when we say 2,000 and 3,000 guys,
It's
we mean
Jamaican dollar.
Jamaican dollars.
Jamaican dollars, please.
Jamaican dollars. For
Yeah.
anybody who is for everybody on the live who's not here, we mean
And anybody
Jamaican
listen to this
dollars.
podcast, we mean Jamaica, not
Jamaican dollars.
2,000
We're
US.
not balling like that yet.
Yet.
Yes.
So yes, so you want to ensure that you have, even if you don't have at least health insurance, because you're going to need to go to the doctor, and having life insurance is good for your net worth. It can be used
Yeah.
as a
And
collateral and
NHG.
stuff. NHD, yeah.
NHT can be as small as 1,000, 1,005 and up. And again, if it is that insurance, pension, NHT, taxes is something that's too heavy for you because you're not at that point yet, have an emergency fund. Have savings and have an
Yeah.
emergency. And the emergency fund can be 5,000 Jamaican dollars.
Yeah.
And you put it down, and whenever an emergency happen, something happen. Because if you just use your regular money for your emergencies, you're gonna get screwed.
Yeah. Like coronavirus time now. Cool. All right. So yeah, let's
Dum,
jump
dum,
from that because we're
dum.
running out of time.
Yes.
All right. So Mr. Eddie Daughter says, "Rich Dad Poor Dad is a perfect read." Yes, it's on my to-read list. Joel Robinson asks, "How do you determine when you spend too much on food and treats?"
Why?
Boy. Well,
Alright,
first,
when you spend too much
food.
on food,
Yeah.
first of all, we have to acknowledge that when it comes to unlike the United States or North America,
Yeah.
buying food is so cheap and accessible here.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, buying food in Jamaica is expensive.
Yeah.
Even eating on, and even if you buy from the grocery store, you as you blink, $15,000, $30,000 swipe. Sometimes I go to the cashier and say blink if it go past $30,000. You hear? And she just blink.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have to just try and maintain yourself and you have that's a thing you test. You find your way, you test what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah.
For some people, making their own food works. For some people, it's where they buy out their food that works.
Yeah.
So you have to find out what works for you.
For me, what works for me is a mixture of buying out and eating in. A lot of because of the type of work that I do, I can't always cook.
Yeah.
But I know I can cook my breakfast because I usually get up really early. So I'll cook breakfast and I'll buy lunch. And if I come in late, I don't really eat dinner. I don't like eating late. So I'll eat a supper, something small like a sandwich. So I structure my budget for food based on that. Now,
Same.
spending too much on food is subjective. I think you have to based on your health and how much you eat and what you need to be healthy. Because at the end of the day, health is your wealth. You can't starve yourself. Like one thing, no matter if it's my
That's
last
not
dollar,
sexy.
I spend my last dollar on food than on bills because I cannot be hungry.
And
You
you
cannot
cannot
starve.
work when you're hungry.
And you cannot work on
'cause
focus.
You will really trust
Well,
me.
yeah.
You can't work when you're hungry.
Yeah.
You fight people. Wait enough for fight.
Christina also suggests a book called Richest Man in Babylon.
Yes, that's an
Yeah,
amazing book. And I think that book is Rich Dad Poor Dad is nice, but Richest Man in Babylon is a little bit better because it comes in stories
yeah,
and it's more digestible.
yeah.
So I would say if you're gonna start off reading a finance book, Richest Man in Babylon is nicer because it comes in a story theme, it doesn't feel too preachy, and then afterwards move to Rich Dad Poor Dad because that go drape you up.
Yeah,
That's
there
gonna
we
drape
go.
you up.
The last question I'll take for now. Caesar asks, do you employ pricing strategies based on MSMEs versus corporate clients? Yes, I do employ
Hell yeah.
pricing strategies because it's value pricing. The value that is for a bigger corporate client or a bigger industry will be different from the value and impact that a MSME will get. So yes, I do price differently for MSMEs versus corporate clients.
Yeah, same, same.
And I would
same.
suggest that strategy for most persons.
And
It's just
corporate
respectful.
clients are also
Yeah.
a little bit more demanding than SMEs.
That's correct.
So that also goes.
Bless up,
into it.
Mishi.
All
All right,
right.
cool.
So
So,
the next part,
topic
Randy,
is investing in your
business. I know we spoke a
investing
little
in
about
your
it, but
business.
you have invested in equipment. You have your studio. You have gone through. Apart from equipment, because I know it's so easy to say equipment. What did you think was a necessary investment for your business
Mm-hmm.
that you knew you needed to have apart from equipment? Like
Apart
you
from
knew
equipment.
you needed to have for your business.
Apart from equipment, something. All
Something
right.
that you had to pay for, whether it was a one-time or recurring payment.
All right. I could say easily, right, where I'm now in my business, an accountant is one, an assistant is another. An accountant, not for daily bookkeeping per se, because I'm generally good at that. Um, but for like filing taxes, yo, I prefer to have them because not only, yeah, I can file my own taxes, but an accountant knows all the different tricks and trades of how to save you money.
And like you said,
Yeah.
you can't do everything yourself.
You can do something that Christina just said, time is necessary.
Yeah.
You can't do everything yourself. So, and I think it goes, no matter how much them, like, it's worth it no matter what. Because accountant will charge you at the end of the year anywhere from 50 or 40 up to maybe 90 to file your taxes.
Depending
If
on how big you
depending
are,
on how
guys.
big you are. So if you're a small company, they probably charge you much less.
Yeah.
But and you don't have a lot of information and filing, they will charge you a lot less. But it works because you save money and they can tell you all the facts. Instead of going to research all of the thresholds yourself, the this and the that, and all the claims you can make whether as a business name or as
sometimes I
something
have
there.
stuff from experience.
And I have
that
stuff
you
from
don't
ex-
know
yeah, that
because
you don't
tricks
know.
and there are a lot of money loopholes in
Leave the
Jamaica, you know.
yeah, there's a lot of money loopholes. As Vanna just said, leave the job to the professional and the experience and accountant. The second one I would say a good investment, which both of them you realize is personnel,
Yeah.
is assistance. Time is more valuable than money to me
Yeah.
because you can always make back money, but you can never make back
Yeah.
time. You
And
lose
you can
time.
use time to make money.
Yeah,
but
focus.
You can't use money to make time.
Yeah, so you need to. So freeing up myself allows me to think more about the things that I'm supposed to be doing. My creativity, as Vana just said, my job. My job is to direct. My job is to create. My job is to innovate within the photography. Create all of
Yeah.
those spaces. If I'm thinking about running a business from the top to the bottom every single day, then I don't have the time.
Yeah.
A friend of mine would say, you can either, Andre Robb, he would say, you can either work in your business or on your business,
Yeah.
but never both.
Yeah.
So
that's
when
true.
you're working in your business, you're working on your finances and this
Yeah.
and that. Or, when you're working on your business, you're working to create more and build your
sometimes
business.
I actually have to. I use Upwork or Fiverr because sometimes
Yeah, they're cheap.
I get a lot of
Yeah.
client work.
You wanna take some
and
of me?
oh, sure.
I'm gonna pour one. Yeah.
Sometimes I get a lot of client work, and I actually need somebody to just schedule content for me. Like I'll
Yeah.
create the content, I'll do that. I just need you to just schedule the client's content for me, and I'll use someone on Upwork or someone on Fiverr that I trust because I've been doing it for a while, so I have people I can trust and
Yeah.
do. And them doing that, it's gonna take them 2 hours. That 2 hours I can use to manage something else for a client. I can use that to start thinking of new ideas and how to grow. And I think another investment for me is ads. As a marketer, I
The wine dropped.
Oh, Lord.
Sorry, guys. Yeah,
as
it's
a
good.
marketer, a lot of the times we're so focused on other people's marketing.
Yeah,
Who's this
yeah.
girl, Randy? I'm Victoria Alana Taylor. I am the co-host of the Creative Wiki with my co-host Randy.
Yeah, who's somebody asked? you?
Yes.
Oh, hey Christina. Yeah.
Hi, Christina.
She's Victoria. Victoria Taylor Marketing. She's amazing. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. So stuff like that, as simple as it is. And just my ads, like doing ads, doing my own marketing. Sometimes the apps that I refer to customers, I will purchase them so that they'll help with my marketing. Like Hootsuite, I've upgraded my Hootsuite account. Certain I've updated my Canva account, so I have more access to things without having to go to a graphic designer. And again, a lot of the times we do photography for other clients, we do video editing, we do graphics, we do marketing, but we never invest the money into our own business, which is gonna help us to get more clients. So investing in your business is a must.
Yeah.
I think the next one is financial goals, personal.
Yeah, that's
and
you.
And then you have financial goal,
So
business.
so how do you set your financial goals, and specifically what goals were important when you started versus what goals are important to you now?
Are important to me now? Okay, so I'm gonna be really quick.
And you could probably specify between short versus midterm or
Yeah.
long-term goals.
Okay, so the short-term goal was my rent had to be paid and I needed food to eat.
Straight.
And my long-term goal was that I should be able to not only it was quality over quantity. So it wasn't that I needed a lot of customers. It was that I needed customers who were willing to pay X amount each month, and that would be enough. And for me, sometimes that's just as little as 2 or 3 customers for my packages, my 500 or 400 packages, and that's easily like $9,000 or almost $2,000 a month. So that works for me. And when I was creating my goals, and if you see Tuesday Tips on my page,
Tuesday
I
Tips,
always
big
talk
up, big
about
up.
goals because you have to define them. So you can't just say, yo, I want to make money. You have to say how much money you want to make and when do you want to make it, and you have to give yourself a reasonable time frame. 3 months, 3 to 6 months is reasonable. And I think personal goals, it would be just to be able to have savings. Investments, I buy stocks when I get the chance, not as much as I would like to, but I buy stocks because that's also an investment. I also buy bonds or unit trusts. That's really slow, but it's still better than nothing.
Long term, yeah.
Yeah. And also
You want to have a diversified portfolio.
Exactly. So that, and I also, my personal goal has always been to also invest in businesses or things. So if I see a person who has a business that I like, sometimes I'll be like, all right, here's X amount, give me back X amount back. And sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But it's like having a defined financial goal. How much money do I want to make at X time? What am I going to do to get there? And what happens if I don't meet that goal? Because you have to have a plan B, and that's it.
All right, pause. Somebody asks, Mafia Berta asks, what does Victoria knows best do? Victoria, go. 30 seconds.
I am a digital and content marketer helping local and global brands market their business with digital and content marketing strategies.
There you go. She's based in Jamaica, and that's what she offers. Look for Victoria Knows Best. Follow her and click the link in her bio, and you find out all the information. Yeah. All right. Cool. That was pretty solid. Jafta Online is here. Big up Jafta Online. I'm a Jafta member. Right. Join your association if they're in Jamaica.
Oh, Randy.
Yes, please. Yeah. No, we're still going. We're going. It's 1:36. We still have a lot of time.
Okay.
And we started like early. Cool. Never file your own taxes if you can. All right. Let's jump to the next topic. Jig said the right clients, which I wanted to bring a call out to.
Oh, the right
Having
clients.
the right clients is important. And how you're going to know if you have the right clients will determine. It's like a relationship.
It's a relationship.
You want to know what it is that you're looking for in a relationship.
And what you're willing to take.
Based
on
and
your
not
cost.
take.
And sometimes you have to break up with clients. I had a client that she would say X in person and then she said Y in email. And whenever I did something that she said Y in the email, she would call me and say X, and I said,
Yeah.
Email is what I work with. So if you tell me Y in the email, I'm going to do Y. Don't call me and tell me X. And there are some clients where you have to be very polite, and there are some clients you just have to straight bat up and say, yo, no, this is not gonna work. This is my professional opinion. This is what you must do. Sometimes you have to do that. And don't be afraid, because if you believe in what you are and you're good at who you are, you'll let them know that I'm advising you because I want the best for you, not because I'm trying to be an asshole. So it's a relationship. Sometimes you have to fire clients. Sometimes you have long-term relations. Sometimes you break up, but every now and then you connect. It's just but you have to know your worth. Know your worth in business and personal relationships.
Yeah, you have to know your worth. All right, Jig says breaking up with clients is hard. It hurts,
it's
but
hard.
it is necessary.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is necessary. Kat says camera angles though. Big up. And Christina says nice podcast. Somebody just said this need crowd earlier. We're going to run some ads and get more crowd on it. Yeah, we're going. We'll work on it.
We're fresh. We're young.
And it will be on YouTube and it will be on podcast streams by Monday. And
Monday, Wednesday,
oh,
tentatively.
Mafia asked, do we have a does Victoria Knows Best have a store? No, it's a digital. Just go
I
online and
have a
talk to her.
website. I
She has
have
a
a website,
website.
and I have a free 30-minute consultation that I give because not a lot of like new business owners or creatives can afford a marketing, but I always
True,
give a
true.
free 30 minutes consultation. And the other day, Daniel told me it's more than 30 minutes. I was like, I
Yeah, it was
know.
90, like an hour and a
I
half.
know, but
Yeah,
it's just that I'm so passionate about helping people, and just message me, book a time, and we'll talk. It's as easy as that. I'm really accessible, and my website is there. I have blogs, I have Tuesday tips on a lot of things. So check it out. Tell me what you think. And again, you need help, free 30-minute consultation, courtesy of Victoria Taylor at
yep.
Mint Studios.
Yeah. So, and also, reminder just to ask you questions. If you have any questions, drop them in the question box here. You have to be following us to drop the question there. And Christina says she wants some of that wine. Maybe we'll soon have wine giveaways.
You know, we probably should.
Yeah, we probably should definitely give away. We're working on it. We're
Working
working on
on
the wine
it.
sponsor. So remember to drop the questions. We're going to take the questions separately. Mafia Berta, go to Victoria Knows Best, and you'll get all the information you need. So we're gonna jump to financial goals for businesses.
Business. So
All right.
when you first started your business compared
Yeah.
to when you have your business now, what's the main difference between those goals? And what was, give me a moment in your life that really forced you to make a defined and clear goal? Like, share a story of when you realize, yo,
Yeah.
this did have to be one of the goals. So what's the difference between now and then, and what was the moment that pushed you to be like, this has to be
Yeah.
a financial goal?
All right. So then, what the difference was then? Then I was building, and when you're building, you want a strong foundation. So I tried to inform and educate myself about. I was doing photography mainly at the time. All right, what kind of lenses do I need? I'm doing event. What kind of flashes do I need? What kind of camera do I need? How long do I need this camera to last? What will be the next step up? So I was always trying to study and see what other persons were doing globally to ensure that I was working at a certain standard. And that's something you find in other more developed countries. Standardization is very important. You see that they say, all right, cool. Well, a professional will work with this, that. Truth and be told, you can kind of work with anything that you want.
Slow.
Yeah, sorry. Mafia contact. Okay, let me ignore it.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
reminding you to go slow.
Yeah, thank you. Truth and be told, if you can create with any tool, the tools add to the value of what you do, but you just kind of want to know what the standards are so you know what you're supposed to build towards, because there are clients who do look towards certain kinds of equipment and they'll hire you because you know that you have that kind of equipment. But I think it speaks to professionalism, brand, and reliability. Like earlier, we were talking about if you want to charge X price, then your brand has to follow. So if you want to charge the red prices,
Brand at cost and cost
yeah,
at brand.
Yeah, so if you want to charge red prices, you can't be using a Canon T7i and then coming to the client shoot and I tell them, say, yeah, I charge them 20,000 US for the day. You have to have the right equipment that can give them that certain level of surety and a certain level of quality to ensure that
They're satisfied.
they're satisfied.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of Jamaican people will complain about price now, but when you give them good work,
Yeah.
they shut up so quick. They still
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
complain the next day about them going.
Yeah,
Fine.
exactly. So then it was about ensuring that I had all the more important things. As a photographer, that was flashes, camera, various lenses, a second camera body. And ensuring that at that time I wasn't thinking about like, accountant and stuff, because those things weren't important. I was very small as a freelancer. I'm under the amount that I need, the thresholds for taxes and whatever. So it was fine for that, most of that. Now, what's important as a business is, the financial goals vary because, all right, now I have an office, I have a studio space. I have to think about the clients that I meet, and I have to think about jobs that I may get overseas. So I have to think about ensuring that I have a financial cushion and some liquidity to make sure that I can, if I need to move or do on a project or work on something now, that's different. So having more money in the bank is important. Having better equipment is important. Taking a risk to ensure that you're staying up to date, because at this level in the market, you want to make sure that you're working with the tools that you need.
That moment that forced you to make an important financial goal.
Yeah.
What happened? Give me a story. What happened where you realized, like, it kicked you and you're like, oh shit, I actually need to this have to be a goal. This
Yeah, I
can't
mean, I
pass
think
me.
the biggest kick was when I lost all of my equipment. So in 2016, my equipment was stolen. Most people on here would know about that. Everything was stolen. Because I packed up, was heading to a shoot in Mobay, stopped to get some food for about 15 minutes. By the time I go in and come out, and the car was parked like arms, like it wasn't very far, like 2 car lengths away from the front of the store, and security was there. But that's another story.
Jesus.
So
That's
at that
mighty.
point, because I was back to ground zero,
Yeah.
I had to think about everything. At that time, I was doing a lot more videography than photography because I was working with Art Creative Media Limited. It was a company with 4 of us, and that's what we were doing at the time. So I focused more on video at that point. So at that point, I was like, all right, I need to buy a back camera. I got back some money from GoFundMe to buy a laptop. Which direction do I need to go? What's going to what's going to happen? What is going to get me the best out of most, and what do I want to do? What's my passion? What's my long term? At that point, I was like, filming, video and filming was really where I wanted. I love the complexity. I love the challenge. It was very new to me still. There's a lot for me to learn, and it made a lot more money for the company and for myself. So at that point, I was like, well, right now I need to invest. And I said, all right, I'm going to get a video specific camera. I got a Blackmagic cinema camera, and I got a proper lens. I spoke to my brethren, Darren, and I know he shot with Blackmagic, so I tested his camera, got some test footage, and I know, so to make sure that the decision I was going to make was the right decision for me. And he really helped me with a lot of tips to make sure that I got the right stuff. And I built up my rig, and up to this day, I still have this camera. I just got another Blackmagic camera, so now I have 2 Blackmagics that are working together,
Black
and
magic.
they're working. They're good for long term. So that to me was
That
that
was your
turning
moment.
point.
Okay.
There are a lot of things that
So
happen as
yeah.
demand from clients,
Yeah.
and you're shooting and you realize the
But
cameras
that
can't keep up.
also you
But
took
yeah,
that situation and you decided that that was where you're gonna decide where the hell you were going to go
yeah,
and the value that you were going to bring with it as
yeah,
well. Okay,
exactly.
cool.
Yeah, and that's what it was. So Victoria, questions. So we have some questions with some J Bree. I'll call her Bree. Victoria, were you self-taught or was marketing something you studied at UWI?
I didn't go to UE. I don't know why everybody thinks I've gone to UE. I went to UTech.
Yeah.
I went to UTech, and there's nothing wrong with going to UE. It's just that I am a little bit proud of my school. Okay, so I went to
I went to
UTech.
UTech too.
I went to UTech and I studied structural engineering. My mom is an engineer. Engineering was actually super easy for me. I did TD in high school,
Sick.
and then afterward, when it was like my second to last year, I was like, yo, I don't want to do this. Like, I had a teacher tell me like, you really don't like you are a B. You're like a B plus student, but you can be an A plus student. So what's going on? And I was like, I don't know this is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then I went home. I wanted to take a year off. My mom wanted me to continue after you get your bachelor's, you get your master's. But I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, man, sure. But I just never did the application. I just learned. I was self-taught. I started teaching. My philosophy is you cannot be broke in 2020 or 20 anytime the internet was invented.
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus. You just have to learn. So I'm self-taught. I learn. I also learn through my work. Everything is experience. I've
Yeah.
also had the opportunity to work at the lab. It's a great place to work. I don't work there anymore, but I do love it. I learned a lot of things. There are a lot of really
Big up
good
the
people
lab.
there.
Big up Kimala.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm self-taught, and you are too. And the Jamaica Digital Acadia, she's also self-taught, and she is a badass.
Yeah.
Like she's a badass.
Yeah, her page
marketer.
6 still, her page clean, and I'm learning more about her. So yeah.
She's a badass. You're like, I'm a badass, but yo, she's a badass. Like if there's a badass class, I would be in it as a student, and she would be the teacher of the badass class. So yeah.
Big up Kadia. Yeah. Cool. All right. So let's scroll through. So we're gonna go through some questions now
Yeah.
and see what Mafia. Please go to Victoria Knows Best. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Manine says, "Ima bad me up for your phone number." Please go to Victoria Knows Best. Manine says, at the starting point, business validation, product market fit, unique value proposition are all
Yes.
things being discovered to build that foundation.
I love how he
Yes.
said unique value proposition.
Yeah,
Guys, if you don't know
yeah.
what value proposition is, you go online and you go find out. That's gonna affect your marketing, your branding, and your pricing.
Teach them.
And you can't just
Teach
say,
them, Vicky,
oh,
teach
because
them.
I am the best at the quality. Value proposition.
Teach them, Vicky, teach them.
Sorry, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, cool. All right, so let's see. Remind them going down. Good tips. You have to keep clients online. All right, cool. Let's see what's some stuff. I'm scrolling through, guys. Randy? What are your tips for a beginner in photography? Well, we're speaking mostly to financial tips right now. So, Bree, if you want me to talk about that, just DM me and we can talk about that off air. Mafia says, Randy, I think you need to go live in a bit to talk about your photography. Yeah, man, sure. I'll go live maybe on Monday and you just guys jump on and we talk about photography generally. All right. What are the key features in making yourself be seen by the necessary people? So that's about marketing.
That is about marketing.
Yeah.
Guys, if you have marketing, branding, or
Yeah.
content questions,
Bree, shoot Victoria
DM
offline.
me. I answer all of my DMs all the time.
Yeah.
So DM me, ask, and I'll let you know.
Mm-hmm. So DM Victoria knows best. Bree says she's seen you on campus before. I don't know if it's you.
Oh yeah, I
Evan
go
says
to UWI campus.
Evan says big up UTech people every time. Yeah, although we need like a hand sign. Yeah, big up UTech. Yeah. Good girl UTech. Cool. Yeah. All right. So I have two questions in the question thing. Let's see if they're. Jewel asked, why is keeping track important? You want to take that one? Or you want me to take it?
I think you should take that one.
Why is keeping track important? Because the taxman will come and get you.
And outside of that, please. Because if you keep spending without knowing, you could be spending more than you actually should or you need to.
Yeah, you're spending more than you earn. Keeping track is important. So at the end of the year, you can look at your profit margin, the revenue, what you had. Yeah, you can look at just the trends, which area of your business. Say you're doing wedding photography and event photography, you can see what the profit margin was between wedding and event and which one is better, and that can help you to decide where to invest more. Yeah, cool. All right, so let's take the last question and then we're off. Cool. And our last question is, oh no, we have two questions.
And guys, don't forget to follow the Creative Weekly on Instagram and YouTube. We're there.
Yeah.
And DM Randy for photography, video, or creative questions. DM me for branding, marketing, or questions.
Yeah.
We're always gonna answer. We're here to help. Go
Christina says you have to take a look at what to expect, and you expect profit proper accounting. Keep track and just so you don't go above budget. Well,
Yes.
all right. So Alec, this Instagram cuts the video off at 1 hour, so we have to keep it on the hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we're going after. All right. So Adrian asked, as an artist rather unknown, I have no idea how to price my art. What should my process be?
I think we spoke about that.
We spoke about that,
We
yeah.
spoke about how to price
Yeah.
yourself. You have to, you DM people, see
Yeah.
that are doing the same type of art as you, see what their prices are like. Also take into account what's the market value and check overseas as well, and then learn along the way. But you need to know what other people are charging so you don't overcharge. So you have to do some investigation.
Investigate, research, send some bogus email to people. You have to look at what other artists who are doing the same kind of work that you're doing, and then use that as a litmus to kind of guide you.
Next
Cool.
question?
Our next question is, thanks Christina for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah, Manine says take a look at your industry, see what your expenses are, and find a reasonable profit margin that makes sense. You have to know how much your expenses are, and that will guide you in making your prices
Broke ain't
or cutting
cute.
your expenses. Cause broke not
Broke
cute.
is not cute.
Last question that we'll take is, how do you guys set and track goals on a yearly, quarterly basis?
You have to
Victoria.
first. You have to. How do you guys set and track? First, you set your goal, then you make sure that every quarterly or yearly you check back on your goal. It's really that simple.
Yeah, you need
It's
to
that
set
simple.
metrics. So what are your KPIs? What are your
Yeah,
key performance
performance
indicators
indicators.
for each goal? So say for example, your goal is for wedding, you want to get 3 wedding jobs every quarter.
Yeah.
And those are, you want, for example, you want to make $10,000 every quarter from wedding US. You know that, all right, well, you watch how many jobs you're getting and you check it at a periodically.
Yeah.
So every
Am I
month or
getting
so
this
on.
job? Is this
Am I,
happening?
yeah. And that will help to
If you see
guide
that
you.
you're not getting enough job, you need to push your promotion, reach out to people more. If you see
Yeah.
that you're getting more, then you need to maybe recheck your yearly goal.
Yeah, and maybe your goal needs to be bigger.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to expand. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we have one more.
Yeah, we have one more. Let me just see what the quick comments are. Yeah, cool. We're almost there. She's. They can see you pointing at the
I
time.
know
you
you guys
She
can
is
see me
pointing at the
It's just that
time.
I don't want to run
All
out
right.
of time.
Beginning in finance. Where should I start? Where should we
What?
start? Jewel asked where she should start in
Beginning in
beginning
finance.
finance.
Check out Thriving Dollars
Thriving Dollars on
by
Instagram by
Kenisha.
Kenisha Mays.
Yes.
She's a good financial advisor. She's someone I've
Yes.
worked with personally.
Thriving
I can vouch it
Dollars.
for her. She has different packages. She has in public information available, and you can message us offline too.
Yeah.
All right, so
Thriving
let's see.
Dollars.
Manin says he'll save part 2
DOLLAS.
of that question for another live. Sure, no problem. We'll have more. Can you talk dating on a budget?
First of all,
Dating on a budget. This is not the.
dating on a budget.
Is-
First of all, you should not be dating if you don't have money to be dating, right?
True.
And it depends on the level of your relationship. If you guys are been going out for a while, make sure you do something romantic like cook for her, set an ambiance.
Yo, listen to me, You can't listen to Victoria. Now. Victoria is an uppity woman, So she everything tall.
I'm sorry
so,
that I have
so,
class
so
and
she have
standards.
class and something there. But dating on a budget, you just like live within your means and be creative.
And
because
let
you can
her
do a lot.
know,
Yeah.
And if she let her know that listen,
Or him.
listen, I'm on a budget, I want to make it work. Let's come up with an idea that we can both enjoy.
Yeah.
And if the person left, that's not the person for you.
Yeah, and
the
if you
person stay,
invite girl up on date, don't carry them go TGIF when you have tasty money. Alright, cool. Bless up Mike Park. Mike, bless up Virgin. You came in late, but we're about to wrap. Nightly Letter says most times I charge by complexity no instead of by the hour because I tend to finish a lot in a short amount of time. That speaks to value pricing.
Yeah, that speaks to
that
value
definitely
proposition
speaks to
and
value
pricing.
proposition and pricing. So yes.
Alright, let's
And
do
Alex
that.
says charge per hour, then material cost plus value of product. I think that speaks
a
directly
really
to
good
the
one,
artist.
yeah.
That's a good because that's
Read
yeah.
that one over for the
Charge-
person who is a young artist.
The
who
young
can
artist, all Alex said, charge per hour, then material cost plus value of product.
Yeah, that's
There
a
you
really
go.
good formula. Thank you so much.
So guys, we are about to wrap. Hi,
We're
Lisi
wrapping.
Monet.
What are you talking about?
Victoria says Uptown. Omar Kamara said Victoria Uptown girl. Yeah, Uptown still. So we're wrapping, guys. So this week has been the Money Talk and the Money Walk. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being here. We are
Thank
here
you.
every week on a Friday at 1 p.m. drinking wine and talking about
Everything that relates
everything
to
that relates to creativity.
business, lifestyle, how to
Jewel,
be better.
Jewel. Oh, last thing before we go, Jewel
Yes.
said we have a book for giveaway. Which book will I give away?
Jewel, we
This
have-
is it's her week to give away a book.
Okay, we're also gonna give away Damn Good Advice for Creative People. It's a good book that gives you advice if you're a creative person. So that's the next book. Jewel is holding us accountable. Follow the Creative Weekly
Jewel says
for
thank you.
more.
Follow the Creative Weekly. We'll be posting how to
At
win
the
each of these
Creative
books
Weekly.
at the Creative Weekly on Instagram.
We also have replays of
yeah.
this. We have snippets. We have more apps. We have tools. We have tips. And guys, keep we love the tips. We love everything you've been saying. Keep talking. Keep going. DM us if you want to know about photography, videography, business.
Yeah, entrepreneurship,
business,
freelancing.
marketing.
Just feel free to message me. I respond.
Yeah.
My email ninja. We'll be
Yeah.
doing this regularly, and we plan to just keep going with this. And
Exactly.
we'll revisit all of these topics the same way and different ways. So
ways.
feel free to DM us. At the Creative Weekly on Instagram.
Yeah.
Follow us and just keep in touch. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
All right, cheers. Cheers. Bye, guys. Later. My battery are dead too, so we'll have a cut. Later, guys.